The World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world. Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are when you say so. When you choose to live in a place of no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity, when you choose to live in your own love and light and share your unique gifts with the world, because we're all unique. And therefore, it's called World Healing Tour, because when you heal yourself, you truly create that ripple effect, that path for others to follow and heal as well. Each week, we bring incredible people into studio to pour into you and support you on your journey. My guest today, Denise Cesare, is the author of Moments in Motion with Love, a heartfelt book that encourages conversations around emotional well-being and our connection to the planet. She's also part of an incredible anthology book called Magnificently Made. She loves collaborations and bringing people together. She's a social and emotional learning specialist with over 25 years of experience as a speech and language pathologist. Denise collaborates with various groups to promote nurturing of our inner child, spreading love and light to others and the environment. Her work is a beacon of hope, guiding others to navigate life's challenges with resilience and compassion. Denise, welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast.
Oh, Noah, thank you so much for that beautifully introduction. It made me feel so wonderful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I'm so happy you're here and so excited to have this conversation with you because emotional well being is so important for all of us. When did you become interested in people's emotional well being?
Well, I think it comes back to being an educator, working with children. Their well-being is part of, what we do as educators. We have to incorporate that. But I think, your own journey, your own struggles or things that you go through help you sometimes to help others.
Absolutely. So, have you had a lot of struggles in your own life?
Yes, that's kind of why the book came to be because I do have a condition called spasmodic dysphonia. And in 2006, I lost my voice completely. So imagine being a speech language pathologist and losing your voice. That's something very ironic. But that gave me so much. I don't even know what to say. It healed me, even though felt like it was something so heavy.
So all of a sudden, you're a speech pathologist, and all of a sudden, you lose your voice. What? How did that happen? Was there a process that you lost your voice, or was it just you woke up one day and you didn't have your voice?
So it was an odd process because I was in a car accident and the seatbelt kind of was around my neck and I was the only one that was really injured, thank goodness. But a few months later, there was some strange strangled voice that was coming to be. And it wasn't immediate. It was just the time it started to happen. So it could have been the trigger of the stress of it, but it also is a neurological condition. So sometimes stress and trauma trigger neurological events to happen in your life. So that's the trigger that it happened 2006, May 2006.
Wow. So you all of a sudden don't have your voice. So you literally cannot. You're trying to speak, but nothing comes out, right?
So you tried to speak and it's like choked and like no one could really hear you because you're forcing yourself to get sounds out. Yes, if you can't be, it's very difficult to hear you.
That must have been so frustrating.
It is, and until today, I really still don't have my voice, even though you could hear me now. I have a condition, but I go for injections to be able to speak.
What kind of injections?
So there are Botox injections in my vocal folds. I just actually went last week, so we have a good speaking voice. I'm happy that our podcast is today. But I always say I come as I am because I am who I am. But today we have a good voice because I went for the injections on December 9th.
Well, you sound amazing, so I would have never known.
Right?
So, through your challenge, here you are, you have no voice. You had to go probably more within inside of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that journey like?
So that journey is very interesting because you like we talk about healing and we think that we need others to heal. But what happened to me, and I didn't even realize it till, hindsight shows you what really is going on. So what happened was I lost my voice. Then I have this job that I have and I have to try to figure out what's going on. Think about this. So I have to realize I have a disability, and all these things kept piling on top of each other. But when I really think back to it all, I thought that dark time that there was different things that kept me motivated, but it was really my self-love that got me through it, the glimmer of light that I would find every day. I thought my son saved me, which I love my son with all my heart, and he was my heartbeat that kept me going. But when I look back in hindsight, it was my self-love that healed me.
I love that because self love is so necessary for healing. Let's talk about self love. How were you able to find love and compassion for yourself during such a stressful time in your life?
And well, I had to actually, like we talk about social emotional learning or mindfulness, but mindfulness is not something that just happens naturally. You have to practice it. So, what I did realize about myself, I would use tools like actually every morning I would get up and just wait to take a second. I would actually smile at myself to kind of power up to get through the day. So even something as simplistic as smiling at yourself is giving yourself a little feedback of love. So that was one way. There were many ways, I did have to take, then there were times when it was heavy and, you have to find ways to get through it. I use music, the lyrics in a song.
Mm.
I do know, I studied speech language pathology, so I know the science behind music and the art behind music. So music was another tool that helped me.
Mm.
So I didn't realize, I guess I didn't realize that I was using them, but those were the things that were self-love to get me to the next step of the next phase to get through it because it wasn't easy. And I didn't get my voice back for 5 years. Well, how you hear me now is because of the Botox injections, but I didn't have a voice for 5 years.
That's unbelievable. So you had to, I love that you were digging for things that would bring you more joy in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like music, because music does bring so much joy, especially when you connect to the lyrics and the
Mm-hmm.
energy of music. Did you do
Exactly.
anything else like exercise, walking, anything else, journaling? What are some other tools you used to get through this difficult time?
So the journaling is important, but I would want to be in nature. So if we, talking about my book, Moments in Motion with Love, I know that it was in me because I use those things that are in the book and I didn't even know it back then. I didn't write the book, right? The book came later. So nature, being in by the ocean, the sea breeze, just feeling the sea breeze, actually just being by a tree. Trees are so powerful. In my book, I say the trees have wisdom. They have been here such a long time. So many moments they have seen. Listen. So just actually taking nature and being part of it and just holding on to it and making you being grounded. So grounding is important. Movement is important. Yes, like breath support, breathing. And for me, not having the voice and actually being a speech pathologist, breathing is key. So there's so many things. Sometimes we don't even know, when you're put up to a stressful situation, the fight and flight, you don't know how you will react and kind of help yourself.
Yes, did you also hug the trees?
I no, I didn't hug the tree. You're so cute. No, because I'm afraid of bugs, but okay. No hugging of trees. But one day I will. Now that you said that, I think I'm going to overcome that fear and I will hug a tree.
I love hugging trees.
You're so cute. I think now I'm going to take advice from you. I'm going to go hug a tree. I live somewhere where there's so many trees now, so I think I'm going to do that.
Trees need a hug too.
They do. They do, and they give us so much life, oxygen, energy. Yeah, they keep our planet alive.
Yeah, that's great. So, would you say that this challenge of not having your voice, was that a gift in your life or was that something that you resent? How do you see it, that obstacle of not being able to use your voice?
So of course, you could tell I'm a talker. Even when I did lose my voice, it was very hard to keep me down and quiet. That was not something that people could do, even without the voice. Because I did have to fight, for myself to continue and keep working and all of that. But I didn't resent it. I think I became more powerful, but not in a way to take people down, to lift myself up. I became more powerful. I became even more connected to my students, and I think I had an appreciation, like the moments, because my voice was taken away from me. And yeah, I think I felt powerful from it, not resentful, just feeling like it was a thing that put me in a new direction.
Yeah, new directions are good, right?
Yes, but also think about this. We can have some, it was dark, and you do have to acknowledge that, because if you don't acknowledge that, you can't move forward. You do have to acknowledge that it's something heavy, and you can't just ignore it, because ignoring it is not going to heal you.
Yeah, you know what they say, whatever you resist persists. So you have to always not resist things and acknowledge them because they're there
Mhm.
and it's the reality of what you were going through. But the fact that you're able to say, "Oh, it empowered me in my life," and you could look back and see that is really great, right? Because sometimes we don't always feel that as we're going through that at the time, right? But I was
Exactly.
wondering if not being able to use your voice helped quiet your mind.
Absolutely. Because that's another thing about
Mhm,
being mindful.
mhm,
Our minds are always racing.
mhm,
But back then, because I did have to be quieter.
mhm,
I did get this more creative juice flowing and different things in my mind, coming up with creative ideas. Yes, but the book came later, because imagine, so 2006, I got my voice back in 2011, but my book Moments didn't come out till 2021. But in between that phase, I have a very creative business that I created. It's called Fits Everybody to a T, and it is all about empowering, see about the self-love. So I think that's what came first, all the self-love, loving your body, loving the skin you're in. And I created swimmable covers, beautiful with beautiful fabric, just so you could feel good about yourself,
mhm.
and also good eco-friendly products for the planet. So my mind just kept going. So I established that, but I think that was a good thing because it kept me charged up, if that's a good word, charged up to see what I could do in the world. So that's one thing that happened. So I created that. I still have that going on. But my tagline, Moments in Motion with Love, was something I used to write to my customers when I sent out packaging, because I thought about swimming as motion and loving your body. So that actual tagline became the title of my book. So it's amazing how the 360, it all came together.
Yeah, it's amazing when we listen, everything does come together. We just have to pay attention, right? So you were definitely paying attention and and you see the gift in this whole challenge that you went through. Tell me about your book. I want to learn more about your book and what it's about and it's a big deal to write your own book.
It's such a big deal. And what happened was, so the book, like I said, it didn't come to be until 2021, but it came out of me during COVID, when the children, being a speech pathologist, we were thrown virtually online in New York. All of the speech pathologists had to be doing speech therapy with children with disabilities virtually, like how we're doing a Zoom now, but they didn't know how to navigate that. So, and actually not being with their peers and not having any social interaction, I could just see them fading fast. So March, we're out of school, March, April, May. By May, I saw this disconnect in their eyes that made my heart hurt. So I went to sleep that night and I prayed for something to heal them. And I actually woke up with the book. I actually woke up with the book, spoke it into my phone, and at that time, I was in the process of writing an adult prescriptive narrative, because I did go through all this trauma and I wanted to try to do a self-help. Once this came out of me, I knew that I had to heal the world. Something just came over me. It was a download. I can't even explain it. And I texted my publisher and said, we have to write this book, because This just came to me. So I read it to her, and she started crying. And then the ultimate person, my son was in college at the time. The ultimate person to read it to when they were in lockdown was my son, and he actually cried. And I touched it. It touched a spot for him to know that it's truly moments that matter. We were all very. It was a very stressful time.
Why are moments so important? I feel like, so many of us are running, running, running all the time and we're not present. Would you say moments has to do with being present?
It's all about being present. It's also all about, like you said before, listening to your intuition, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes if you're just rushing around, you don't have the opportunity. You're going to miss something that's right in front of you. We don't want to miss something. We have to listen carefully to people. There's important information that sometimes people share. Or, sometimes you're talking with someone and you're thinking about all the other things you have to do. That is not that is not good for you or for them, because you're learning when you're in a conversation, you're learning and giving and receiving. So moments are so precious because they are fleeting. We don't know the next moment we have. Our moment today is with us together.
Mhm.
You and I, Noah and Denise, we're together, and this is important. So you have to know the importance of what you're doing at that time.
Yeah, no, that's great because sometimes, we're so not present. I see my daughter, she'll be talking to my mom on the phone and at the same time she's, scrolling through her
Mm.
TikTok,
Yeah,
whatever it is, right? So she's not
right.
like 100% present. And I feel like today with so much multitasking, it's really important to try to capture those moments because, like you said, those moments don't get to recapture them. You get this one chance to be a great mom to your kids, or to be really present for your children, and you can't go back and redo it. So it's very important to be present.
Yes, of course, I agree, but it's not easy. I'm not going to tell
Mhm.
anybody out there that was listening to us that it's easy, because
Mhm.
we have things going on, but this is a gift you give yourself. Being present is a gift to yourself. So that's what I want to tell the audience too, is you are giving yourself a gift by being present. Like you said about your daughter. She doesn't realize that, they're young, they think they could do double this and do that. But she doesn't realize that she's not taking in all the wealth and wisdom of her grandmother. That's the thing. Because, if you're looking at something, your brain is not fully in it. So yeah, so I agree that this is a gift you give yourself.
Do you have any tools for people to be more present in their lives? Anything that you use that helps you be more present?
Well, think about this. So the tool is you, really, because you have to practice mindfulness. You have to say, wait, so I'm taking a moment to talk to someone. You have to really do the work. It isn't easy, and it's not so much a tool, but you have to really dig deep and say, this is something important to me, so I have to be present. There'll be times when you have to multitask, but you have to maybe make a checklist during the day, or maybe like look at your day when you have to, like, rewind. Was I really present today? So I think that's an important thing. How many times did I get distracted? A lot of people, it is the world of fast and movement and just see it and go. But that doesn't really serve a purpose. Like you said, hug a tree. That's purposeful. Purposeful, because they give us so much, and people go, oh, it's just a tree. No, without trees, we will not be alive. We will not have air to breathe. So,
Yeah, so when you meet somebody and you know how, like, I think a lot of us are not present even when we meet new people because they'll say their name, right? And it doesn't really register probably because we're not present, right? And then we have to ask them again for their name or maybe again or ask them what's your name again. And it's not like it never happened to me. And I know that that's part of us not being 100% present. So
mhm.
so learning to just kind of like ground ourselves more, right, in this moment. And it does, like you said, it's not easy. It really does take practice, and it's about like also probably repeating things in our head, like when we meet somebody, they say their name, like repeat it like 3 4 times
Or
because
say it out loud. Just say
yeah.
it out loud. Go, oh, hi, Noah. Oh, it's so nice to me to repeat it. Yes, we do need to repeat it because,
Mhm.
if you're thinking about something and they say their name, you forgot it. But if you go, oh, hi, Noah, so nice to meet you, your brain will process it.
Yeah, definitely. I think repetition definitely helps, with that.
Even say it out loud because it'll make them feel special. If you actually say their name back to them,
Mhm.
they'll say, oh, they heard me. Being heard is important.
Absolutely. So, what do you love most about what you're doing right now? How you feel like you're mostly contributing to others? Are you working more with children, more with adults?
So now I currently moved 6 months ago. I moved to South Carolina. When I was in New York, I was in this classroom and as an educator, the speech language pathologist. And then when I stopped doing that, I was going into schools and you're doing my programs. Now I'm setting that up all over again because I have a program that goes with my book that taps into mind, body, and spirit. So it's movement, which I have a whole series. It's a program, Yoga Motions with Love, which is the pages from the book come alive. The movement and the motions from the book became a whole series. And then I have the affirmations like so in my book I have a poem, the Believe poem, and it's all about self-love. But in the book, I tell you, the reader, how much I love you because we have to have love of ourselves, love of each other. So in the book, I affirm the reader, but the reader needs to affirm themselves. So I have a program of that, of all the mindfulness techniques. And then I have a music component to it where I have taught them to make playlists of their favorite songs, but not just their favorite songs, songs that make them happy, songs that when they're feeling frustrated, it's different things that bring you back in time, make you think of your parents or make you think of your grandmother. So that's mindfulness, having someone stop and come up with songs that bring them to a good place. And sometimes songs could bring you to a sad place, but it's all right to feel sad. I'm not saying we walk around all so happy every minute. It's all right to feel your feelings. So that's important too.
So,
So those,
somebody,
yeah, I'm sorry. So those are the things I'm doing. These programs, I'm bringing it to different organizations and just trying to lift up the world. What, like you said, the ripple effect, one person at a time.
yeah, so if somebody, so do people work with you one on one, or is it like a group program, or you taking it to organizations where they teach this stuff? How does it really work?
So we're working on taking it to organizations and bringing it to bigger
Organizations.
organizations, yes,
Mhm.
where, yeah, I used to go into the schools. I can still go into schools, but I wanted to be on a bigger scale because we really need this in the world right now. Um, Healing, like thank goodness I'm on your podcast because the world really needs healing. So that is where I'm going with this, going to more organizations where we bring it to that more people could be touched by it.
So, do people, when they sign up for the program, do they also get the book with it, or is it more the
So
program?
depending on it depends on the situation. In a school, usually if I did the programs in the school, they get the book when I come in. Or if we did a different type of thing, we would just do the activity and bring it to the teachers, and then they could do turnkey it and use it again. So things like that, or licensing of the yoga motions with love in different organizations like hospitals or classrooms. So those type of things where you could license it and have it and I always say, because I was in the school system for all those years, I saw how much teachers burnt out because they didn't love themselves. They didn't take time to self-love because you need to fuel up to give. So even with this thing, the yoga motions with love that I created, I made it so simplistic because I always saw teachers, oh, I can't do this. I'll just throw it in and let the kids do it. They need it more than the students. Don't just be putting it on for them to do it. You need to do it too. So I made it so simplistic and so easy that children in hospitals could do it from the bed. People who are not as mobile can do it. In the classroom, you could take one movement at a time and break it apart and let them do one per day. So I was very thoughtful because that's what I did. So I took all the things I learned from teachers not taking moments for themselves and tried to create something that they can put the energy and the oxygen on themselves to then keep on being able to
Mhm.
give.
Can you give us an example of what, some of the movements are? Are they like
Oh,
yoga movements, or can you give us like an
I could do one with you if you want.
Okay,
One
yeah. That's what I'm
was in the
interested in.
book. I will do it with you. So one is called butterfly motions because in the book there's a butterfly on your shoulder. Feel it. So what we do is we first bring your fingertips up and you touch like as if there's a butterfly on your shoulder because whoever has the opportunity to have a butterfly on their shoulder. So we're doing that and we're feeling it and we're imagining, using our
Mhm.
imagination. And then we're going to breathe in and then wings out. And again, one more time, butterfly wings down. Doesn't that feel amazing in just three little moments? How good does that feel, Noah?
No, that's really, really cool. Is there a breathing exercise that goes with it too?
That is the breathing exercise because you do it for three times, but then after that comes another one, the tree pose. Like I did base it on yoga, but it's so much not easier. It's not about ease. It's just that the access is better. See how we just did this together, sitting in the screen? It's amazing. You come up, there's the wings, but what I like about is that the imagination, because I say butterfly moments, there's a butterfly on your shoulder, feel it. Not everybody has had that, but if you create this moment for yourself, that's where the that's where the magic happens, creating that moment for yourself.
So you want to use your imagination
Exactly.
with movements.
With movements, yes.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay, so we have moonbeam moments. So I love the moon. I'm a moon lover. So we kind of just you take your hands and you go up over your head and you're breathing in and you're feeling the full moon and you're looking up at the moonlight and you're feeling the stretching. You see what I'm saying about not having to be able to even move from the chair and then bring them down? And then this is also when I'm standing up too. We're sitting here right now, but we're making a full moonbeam moments. And then look straight up at the moon, feel the moonlight on your face, and then bring it right back down. So you feel the different stretch in your arms than when we did the butterfly. The
Yes.
butterfly was a different. This is more of the upper body, but I love this. When you're standing up, it feels different too. But imagine someone who's in a wheelchair. Imagine someone who's not mobile. Imagine someone who wants to do it and then they feel like they can. I wanted them to feel like they could. And that's why I created it in that fashion. Where we're sitting, we could do it. If we're standing, we could do it. We could even bring it deeper and further. You can create it to be deeper, but I wanted it the simplistic level, and then you can build it from there.
Is this for children and adults?
Oh, it's for everybody.
That's
Remember my
awesome.
company that I created with the swimwear, right? It fits everybody to a T because it's everybody. I want everybody inclusively part of what I do.
How many
Because
movements are there in the book?
11,
11 different movements. And how are you supposed to repeat them daily?
oh yes, you repeat them three times. Yeah, so you do it. So the video's coming out. I have a video created.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah. So when you do the movements, they're three times, and then you go back to center and grounded. Grounding is very important. Make sure even when I'm sitting here with you now, my feet are firmly on the ground. I have to think about that though, right? Well, no one tells you to ground your feet. In school, that should be a thing. Kids will feel better balance in their body if their feet are placed firmly on the ground.
Yeah. That's
There's a reason, yeah. There's a reason. There's like a scientific balance to that. People need to know the science behind what you're saying, right? Oh, what does grounding mean? We use all these buzzwords, but grounding is so important because your body feels safe and secure.
Yeah, part of grounding is, also walking barefoot outside, right?
I walk barefoot all the time. Sometimes it's not so great, but I do. I do.
Yes, to get the energy from the planet,
Yes,
from the earth.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you love chocolate, right?
I do. Oh, yes, I do. So much so. I love chocolate so much. And that's my new book, right? Coming out. I love you more than chocolate.
Yeah,
Oh,
what is that about?
okay. So long ago, when my son was born, 26 years ago, I never thought I was going to be an author. I was an educator, I was a teacher, but I didn't think I was going to be an author. But when he was born, this sweet boy, I said to him, I love you more than chocolate. Now, oh boy, do I love chocolate. And then it became a thing. I said, oh, wait, that sounds like a book. I think I should write that. And then it just tucked away somewhere in the universe back, way back 26 years ago. But now I am an author, right? And I said to my publisher, I said, I don't know if you know, 26 years ago, I had this book in me. She goes, let me hear it. And so this book, okay, my educator head always comes out. I, it's a sweet journey, monthly journey through chocolate and a love of a mother and son that they both love chocolate now. But I love him also more than chocolate. So it takes you January, February, March, April, May, all the way to December, which his birthday's coming up right now, December 21st. But what's great about it, it takes the readers on a sweet journey. And then children, it's sequencing months of the year. I remember when I was with the children, some of them didn't really know what the first month of the year was. So this is really exciting to me. Not only does it bring my educator knowledge back that sequencing is important and knowing things, but how to hold on to important things. How to take a moment in January and say, "Oh, I remember that hot chocolate, sipping that hot chocolate with someone." So that's what that's about. It's such a sweet journey, and I love this book so much. Not that at a moment has its own purpose. It came to me, but this is just a homage to what I came up with 26 years ago.
No, that's great. And is it an adult book or a children's book?
Okay, our inner child needs all that this book too, because I guess you could say it is a children's book because it's going to take you when it's going to be like Goodnight Moon, right? So it is a children's book, but children and parents read the stories together. So I believe that it's a book for all. That's what I believe because we all love chocolate.
Yeah, we most of us do,
Most of us
absolutely.
do.
Yeah, my
Most
husband.
of us do.
Yeah, it's so funny because my mother-in-law, she was like, she loved chocolate, and she's like, Noah, I'm gonna tell you something. You're never gonna eat chocolate again, you know. And she was like, do you know how they make it? They have the beans, the chocolate beans, and there's all these like cockroaches and things crawling
Oh,
on it. And she was trying, and I'm like, okay, that did not deter me from eating chocolate.
no, it didn't.
Okay,
It wouldn't
like,
deter me from
like
chocolate.
like she was really, and like she couldn't stop eating chocolate herself, right?
Yeah,
But she had this story that she thought like it's going to, get people to,
yeah.
get others to stop eating chocolate. And of course,
That just goes right out of your
yeah,
mind.
it's like whatever,
That's how much we love chocolate that we really
Yeah.
don't think about it. I don't hear you.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
funny.
Yeah, it was cute. But she loved to eat. She was an emotional eater too. So she really had a problem with food, but she did love chocolate.
Yeah,
So
that's so
it was cute that she like built up this whole story, you know?
good
And
to not want to eat it, but no, the chocolate is something. And like I said, now my son loves it just as much as me. So
mhm,
that's really the funny part of it. I love you more than chocolate, but now you love chocolate too.
mhm,
So but it's awesome. But I love it so much for its wealth of education too.
mhm.
Besides the sweetness, we need sweeter things to come into our life and make us feel happy. So that's why I love it too. It's just a joyful book. And who I know some people might not like chocolate, but I think a lot of people love chocolate.
I think you definitely have a big audience of people who love chocolates. I don't think you have to worry about
I
that,
know.
right? I
I,
mean, nobody's
and
going to love everything. There's nobody out there
no,
that loves everything or
no,
everyone or whatever, but you have
exactly.
a huge audience who love chocolates.
Yes,
I don't
yeah,
think there's any
exactly.
scarcity of that, you know?
No, no, no. And the funny thing with the chocolate, the general, like, I always love a Hershey, Mr. Milton Hershey has a great story, but I also have specialty chocolates that, Daniel and I have found over the years. So yeah, chocolate is just a thing. It's just such a great thing for us.
Yeah, what I love the most about just talking to you is your energy. I mean, you
Oh,
have such a like happy, excited kind of energy about you that is just really beautiful to watch. How excited you are, how much love you bring with everything you do. Have you always been that way?
so you're so sweet, and thank you are bringing it out from me too, because you can energy begets energy, right? So I guess I am joyful and I am grateful. I think being grateful in this life
Mhm.
keeps giving you joy when you're
Mhm.
grateful. Um, so yeah, I think I've always been this happy person. But I thank you. The energy begets energy. So you are bringing that energy out of me too. So energy matters to each other.
So, what would you say to people listening right now? Because I know you're all about healing the planet, healing the children, healing each other. What is how do you heal yourself so you can heal the world?
Well, healing myself, like I told you, healing myself is taking the journey daily. It's a daily journey for myself. But loving myself brings me to realizing that I have to help others learn how to love themselves. Not a lot of people understand the self-love component. So I think that's what I do is I really want to help the world see that they are valuable. And like my poem, the belief poem says, the poem goes, I am loved, I
Oh,
am
do
light.
you have the poem with you? You could read it
I
to
do,
us.
I do. You want me to read it? Okay,
I
yeah.
do. Yeah,
Can I do
I want to
that?
hear
Okay.
it. I want to hear
I
your
had to
poem.
move. I had to move for a second. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, and in the book, there's the poem back here. And I want to read it with everyone because, like I said, I tell in the book, I have the reader, I tell them how wonderful they are. But if you have to believe it. So the name of the poem is called Believe. And I say in the book, I could show you that I say, start each day. Look at how colorful it is. Start each day with this poem. And I really mean this because I give this bookmark out to everyone. If I see someone, if I'm in an airport and I see someone struggling, and if I have one, I just hand it to them. So start each day with this poem. Believe. I am loved. I am light. I am courage. I am bright. I am brave. I am so important in this moment, and you are. Um, Knowing that you're important, that shows your self-love. So I want people to recognize when they're going through things that they are loved, they are light, they are courage, they are bright, they are brave, and most important, they are so important in this moment.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and that is a very cute and very. I like how colorful it is, and I love the big heart because I'm
Oh,
all
I know.
about. I love hearts. I'm all about the
See
hearts.
see this? So this is the mosaic
Mm,
heart of all the pages in the book.
mhm.
So each page is in this mosaic heart of the book. So yeah, it's a beautiful. It really is some work that came to me that was meant to be in the world.
Mhm. No, that's great. That's awesome. I mean, writing your own book and it's leaving a legacy behind. You know, it's helping others on the journey. So I love that you are an author and you're writing books and you're helping people. That is incredible work. What is most important to you in the coming up year? Is there anything that you're working on that's most important to you besides getting your stuff out to organizations? What's something that you want to share out more in the 2026 coming up?
So, of course, the book, like I said, we want
Mm,
the book in the hands of the children and the hands of others.
mhm,
I just think I need to continue the work on the connection of how self-love and loving of each other and loving the planet is so important. So I think that combo, trying to put those pieces together and bringing it forth
mhm,
in the world that's important to me.
mhm.
Making sure that those like there's a three of them. Well, your mind, body, and spirit, but self-love, love of each other, and love of the planet, they come together. So I think that's my next journey, making sure that my work presents in that fashion, that it's a like you said, the whole world's coming together, like the world's healing, right?
Mhm.
All of us together healing. That's what my mission is.
Uh,
Like you.
yes, I love that. Yeah, we're definitely our mirrors. How about as far as like traumas and people that have had a lot of traumas? Is there anything that you could give them advice on how to start their healing journey?
Yes, because I did go through a lot of trauma,
Mm,
and like I want to say to people that do have trauma, sometimes people want to make light of it. You don't make light of it, you find the light.
mhm,
You can't make light of it, but you have to find the light. And some days there's just this much light. But as long as you're looking for it, you will get through it. So that's my thing. You can't make light of your trauma because your trauma is sometimes embedded in your body. The trauma doesn't go away. But the way to heal, like I said, is self love. But you also have to look for glimmers of light. The light, you can't go again spiraling into the darkness because the darkness is just going to take you down. So there may be days that there's more light, but sometimes it's a little, very, very little. But I encourage to look for that light, anyone who has trauma. But I don't want people to make light of it because that's when it gets bad. If someone's saying, oh, okay, just move on, no, that doesn't work. No moving on from your trauma, healing yourself through self love activities, healing, even, community will heal you. And like you said, the planet, we need to respect our planet, but also see what nature does for you. Going to the ocean, going smelling flowers, like you said. I'm gonna go hug a tree. No, I'm going to do that. And then all of this comes together. But definitely, I don't want trauma, people with trauma, because I had trauma and it's still in your body. Um, we do not make light of it. We find the light.
Yeah, and also I love what you said about finding the light, right? And holding on to it, even if it's just a little bit. And would you say finding light has something to do with finding your gratitude? Because,
Mm,
light, when you're grateful, you're focusing on what's working. Because the light might just be a little piece of your life that's working, like you have shelter or you have food on the table, right? So you're focusing on that instead of just on the challenges.
absolutely, and that's key. Remember before I said being
Mm,
grateful for what you have, being
mm,
grateful that you're in an environment where you have a roof over your head. And for those people that don't, right? If we
mm,
think there's people without roofs over their head, what are they going to the glimmer to be grateful for? They have to have the glimmer of hope that they're not going to stay without a roof over their head, or that they're still alive and that they can continue. So, yes, gratitude is everything because gratitude keeps you, I think gratitude keeps you grounded.
mhm. Yeah, so it's all connected, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's all. How has being connected to a higher power, or as I say, God, helped you on your journey?
Oh, without God has his hands, anything that is being presented by me right now, God has his hands all over it. It was not without God that any of these things have come to light. There is no way I believe fully that he has his hands all over, and I have to keep believing in that voice. Like that day when I woke up, I prayed for that book. I actually prayed, but could I have ignored that when I heard what I wanted to write? I could have said, "Oh no, I'm going to go back to sleep." No, I had to listen to that inner voice, that intuition, which is the higher power and which is God.
No, I love that. So, Denise, the time has gone by so fast. How can people find you, connect with you, work with you? Do you work one on one with people?
I don't, but that sounds good what you're saying because I think I should start doing that. I think that's the next maybe another phase that I do one-on-one work because I would be really good at that.
I really think you would be as well.
So that's a good thank you for that tip because I think, I do I see what you're saying because sometimes people say, "Oh my goodness, I need to talk to you more." And I'm like, "Okay, but I think I need to start doing that work. Thank you."
So, how do organizations reach out to you? How do you connect with different organizations? What's the path to connect with you?
Okay. So I think a good path is to see what I've been up to and whatever is my website, DeniseCesare.com. That's my name, is the website. Of course, Instagram is the big, thing in the world. I would do that Denise.Caesar and also at Fits Everybody because you can see the other stuff I'm doing as well. Because I think that's important. Maybe you're not interested in the book, but maybe you're interested in loving the body that you're in and go to that and get all the inspiration that I put on there as well. So those are the three ways I think that people will definitely find me or they could message me. And anyone here today, if they message, they could get a free bookmark because I want everyone to have that message that you are so important in this moment.
That's awesome. I love that. So, any last thing that you want to share with our audience to inspire them, to connect with them? I just want to give you some space to share something that you want to share.
Oh, thank you. So what I want to share before we leave is that you are important in this moment, and don't lose sight of who you are, and trust yourself, your intuition, and believe in the powers of the universe that come and give you things if you're open enough to feel them. So that's what I want to leave with us today, that believe in you, but believe in the higher power to give you strength.
Thank you, Denise. This was great. I so appreciate the incredible work you're doing here. And you're right, we are definitely on the same path of, healing ourselves, spreading the love and light in the world, and creating a better world for all.
And thank you so much for bringing me here with you today. I honor you for this moment.
Yeah, no, this was really fun. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much today for joining us at the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next time, remember to practice the 3G effect, which is what I teach every day to do in order to live your most, grounded and happy life. Number one, every day remember to connect to your heart and have a grateful heart. When you're connected to a grateful heart, you are connected to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore drawing more positive things, people, and experiences into your life. You're focusing on what's working and not on all your challenges. So make sure every day you have a grateful heart. Element number two, make sure you ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, because we all need more love and compassion. And then learn to share that love and compassion with others. The more love and compassion you put out, the more love and compassion will come back to you. I always say the world is round and energy moves in a round circle. So whatever you put out always comes back. So continue pouring out the love and compassion. And element number three, know that you're not alone. You are guided. This is a guided journey. And I say guided by God. Whether you call it God, universe, higher power, we're all guided when we listen, when we are able to turn off the noise of the outside world and the noise of others and turn into our own internal compass. God will send you messages and messengers just for you to help guide you on this journey. So make sure you practice those three things daily. I also created beautiful jewelry to remind you. It's called the 3G effect, to have a grateful heart, ground in love and compassion, and be guided by God. Until next time, my friends, have a beautiful week. Namaste. The World Healing Tour Movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.